The Honourable Member for Chatham-Kent-Leamington.
Madam Chair, and indeed it is good to leave my own house and be back in this one. Pelee Island fits the traditional definition of a remote community as it lies, and it's also Canada's most southerly inhabited community in Canada. It lies 14 kilometres into the middle of Lake Erie. It's surrounded by water and continues to lose its shoreline. It's inaccessible by water almost 4 months of the year, and its connection to the mainland is critical and a matter of life and death. The Prime Minister has promised for 5 years to address the following situation. Since declaring high-speed broadband internet a basic telecom service in 2016, does the Prime Minister even know what percentage of Canada's rural and isolated communities now still only have basic service, even after 5 years of this government? To paraphrase him, because it's 2020 and Canadians are still waiting.
The Honourable Minister of Health.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and I share the member's frustration with not having access to reliable internet in some parts of our country. In fact, we know that the majority of Canadians have access, but some of these more remote communities actually struggle, including in some parts of my own riding. We believe, our government believes, that everybody deserves reliable, fast, affordable internet no matter where they live or work. We will continue to work with all partners to make sure that their services are responsive to the needs of rural Canadians, and that we continue to grow our network connectivity in this country. Thank you.
Mr. Rep.
The answer is 60%. 60% of Canadians in rural and remote communities don't have high-speed internet. For 5 years, the agricultural industry has been calling on this government and has been promised a review of business risk management programming without any action. Analytics Labs at Dalhousie University states that without significant help fast, up to 15% of Canadian farms could be gone by the end of the year. The impact on Canada's food security is alarming. Is conditional support from the federal government is additional support conditional on provincial support? Yes or no?
The Ministre de l'Agriculture.
The Minister of Agriculture. The risk management programs are cost-shared programs where the Canadian government pays 60%, 40% comes from the provinces. Since our second last meeting with the ministers, we have been working on that, and it's a priority of ours to review it. It's not. We'll be focusing on having everyone buy in, and the agreement that we reached the last time is that the federal government can contribute more, as we saw yesterday with the agri-recovery program.
Ontario has funded the risk management program for grain and oilseeds even without federal support. Will the minister commit to fulfilling the federal share of its 60% funding obligation for this program? Yes or no?
L'Honorable Ministre.
The Honourable Minister. Well, thank you, Madam Chair. In addition to the risk management program, there is the Canadian Partnership. And under that program, the $2 billion program, the provinces are free to put forth priority projects in their provinces. And at that point, they invite us to contribute to these 60%, which is agreed to because these priorities come from the provinces.
That was not an answer. The Canadian Federation of Agriculture has called for an immediate investment of $2.6 billion in emergency funding to help maintain Canada's food security. Yet yesterday, this government announced 10% of that amount. Canadian farmers can compete with any in the world on a level plowing field, excuse the pun. The U.S., our largest competitor, our largest trading partner in agriculture, has committed 2% of its ag economy as a response to COVID-19. In response, Canada has committed, here's 2%, has committed 1/3 of 1%. Why, Mr. Chairman, Madam Chairman, does the Prime Minister only value our food security and our ag industry at 1/6 the rate of our largest ag competitor?
L'Honorable Ministre.
The Honourable Minister. Well, thank you, Madam Chair. Once again, there are a host of programs that are available for producers. The risk management program, there's $1.6 billion per year on average in a regular year. We are open. There are some programs that have been accepted by producers, and I would encourage them to opt in. Yesterday, we announced additional programs, $50 million for pork, more for beef, $67 million for producers and money to buy back food surpluses. And I hope with the collaboration of our colleagues opposite, we'll put in place changes for the Canadian Dairy Commission.